Once upon a time, 3 princesses, desperate to meet their mother and brother for the first time, were cursed by a witch to remain in an isolated clearing in the middle of the woods. One day, a boy named Otto stumbles upon them. The curse will be broken if Otto delivers a magical harmonica to someone, and the princesses save a soul on the brink of death. The harmonica sounds like 3 instruments at once and inspires hope to whoever plays it. Only after the harmonica has reached the right people at the right time will the princesses be able to save someone. Once they do, the curse will be broken at last. Echo by Munoz Ryan, Part 1, October 1933, Trossingen, Baden-Württemberg, Germany. Friedrich was born with a birthmark on the side of his face. He feels isolated by it. His father, Sister Elizabeth, and Uncle Gunther are all musicians. Friedrich plays the cello and loves conducting. He later finds the harmonica, which he masters easily. Contention with Hitler rises, and Friedrich's family is concerned because Hitler wants a pure race, and Friedrich's birthmark doesn't quite fall in that category. Right before they attempt to leave the country, Friedrich's father is placed in a gruesome war camp. Friedrich gets on a train to go bribe his father out of the work camp so they can flee the country. Will he succeed? We don't quite find out, because right then, Part 2 starts. June 1935, Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania, USA. Mike and his little brother Frankie live in an orphanage. They are both incredibly talented pianists. One day, a lawyer adopts them on behalf of a musical rich old lady. When they arrive at the mansion, they discover that the old woman, Mrs. Sturbridge, asked for 1 girl and is furious that she was brought 2 boys. We later discover that she and her husband divorced, her son died, and her father just died, but in order to inherit his money, she must first adopt a child. Theoretically, she could continuously adopt children for 3 months and then unadopt them and start a new adoption process. Mike and Frankie are worried that they might be sent back and then separated at the orphanage. Mike finds the harmonica and feels hopeful. Mrs. Sturbridge opens up a bit and they all develop a nice relationship. Then, Mike finds some papers talking about the unadoption process and decides that he and Frankie should run away before Mrs. Sturbridge sends them away. Although he didn't actually check to see if she had signed the papers, which I think was mistake number 1. So they try to climb out a window and into a tree to escape, and then Mike falls out of a tree. Will he be okay? Will they succeed in running away? We don't know, because right then, Part 3 starts. December 1942, Southern California, USA. Ivy lives in Fresno with her mother and father. Her older brother, Fernando, is serving in the military. Ivy's had to move around her whole life and must move again, this time to Los Angeles. Ivy is comforted by the harmonica. Her father has a new job caring for the orange orchard of the Yamada family while they are held in a camp as potential Japanese spies. Ivy becomes friends with her neighbor Susan Ward. Ivy finds out that the middle schools are segregated and she, being of Mexican descent, must go to a separate school that is vastly inferior. Ivy's father fights for equality. Ivy learns how to play the flute. She discovers a secret room at the Yamada's house. Susan's father, Mr. Ward, insists on searching it and they find instruments. The Yamamotos kept people's instruments so they wouldn't be taken away. One day, Ivy and Susan see the telegram boy ride to Ivy's house. Could Fernando be dead? We don't know, because right then, Part 4 starts. Finally, answers. Will Friedrich free his father and flee the country? Is Mike all right? Will he and Frankie run away? Is Fernando dead? Do the princesses ever break the curse? If you'd like to know, I recommend reading the book. The theme of Echo is music will bond people and ignite hope even in the darkest times. I know this because the harmonica of hope travels around the world, helping the protagonists get through their trials. Protagonists include Otto, Friedrich, Mike, and Ivy. I can identify the protagonists as the temporary owners of the harmonica. Additionally, the book follows their stories and shares their thoughts, which helps me determine the main characters. Antagonists include the witch who cursed the princess, Hitler and the Nazis, and the orphanage that might separate Mike and Frankie. Additionally, segregation plays an antagonizing role. For a while, Mrs. Sturbridge and Mr. Ward seem like they might be antagonists, but they end up being adults who've just been hardened by trials. I pronounce these people as antagonists because they are the characters who constantly strike fear in the protagonist and pose challenges that the main characters must overcome. The harmonica was the symbol of hope in this book. Wherever it went, life got better. Music was a symbol of comfort as the characters played their instruments whenever they were feeling discouraged. I loved this book. It was arranged well, intriguing, filled with cliffhangers, mysterious at times, and written incredibly well.